So welcome. Delighted you're here. I get so excited about this group. I just love what we're doing. So I want to show you something. Whoops. But I have to share screen. So you may have known yesterday was Imbolc, IMBOLC. It's one of the quarter, what do they call them? Quarter
Cross,
cycle.
it's
Pardon?
it's the cross quarter holiday, I think.
Quarter holiday. Halfway between um, the solstice and equinox. So I loved this. It says, "This is Philae Brigit, the quickening of the year." The original word Imbolc means in the belly. All is pregnant and expectant, and only just visible, if at all, like the gentle curve of a just showing pregnancy. It is the promise of renewal, of hidden potential, of earth awakening and life force stirring. Here is hope. We welcome, I'm sorry, I put that right on top of it, didn't I? We welcome the growth of returning life and witness life's insatiable appetite for rebirth. And it's from the Goddess of Green and the Green Man, Elaine Bailey, Midsummer Night's Dream. So we'll come back to something here once I finish, once we stop. Okay. So Henna's here. I haven't heard from Laura, but we'll go ahead. So I want to devote some of today to what I call the care and keeping of the chakras. And I have a favorite meditation, maybe a little longer than usual, but I think it will really acquaint us again with our chakra system. Okay? So breathing deeply. I think it'd be good to mute everyone. Thank you. Breathing deeply, allowing yourself to drop really deep into the core of your body. Either refreshing your grounding or sending light down through it and sending your roots deep into the earth. For a couple breaths, letting go, releasing the weak. Imagining that those roots just carry whatever you need to let go of out into the earth. And the earth absorbs it. And then breathing up earth energy, letting it spiral up your center, weaving its way up through the chakras, nurturing and blessing them. Letting go in the out breath. The next in breath, breathing up earth energy, filling all the way up through your core, and then letting it fill the body on the out breath. On the next in-breath, imagine that you can call in a radiant river, a radiant river of sparkling iridescent light from the heart of Source. Beautiful flow of radiant light flowing in and around you, washing you clear, cleansing and purifying. Letting go on the out breath. On the next in-breath, allow that radiant light to swirl through the crown chakra, cleansing and clearing your connection to Source, to all that is, And inviting your guides and angels of the most radiant light to clear any cords to others that are no longer needed, any and all past energies that are no longer who you are, your authentic self. And the color is violet. Allow the light to fill the crown chakra with violet light that allows it to blossom like the 1,000-petaled lotus flower it loves to be. And breathe. On the next in-breath, allow that river of light to flow right into your third eye, swirling and cleansing and clarifying the third eye, dissolving all that's gone before, inviting your being and your guides and angels to clear any cords from others or to others, trying to psych each other out or people trying to psych you out. Those are especially in the back. You can use your hands if you wish and just clear any and all cords that are no longer needed. And then allow that light to fill the third eye with indigo, that beautiful deep blue purple of the midnight sky, even with the sparkling stars in it. Activating all means of knowing, all capacities for intuition, bringing your crown and your third eye into current time. On the next in-breath, allow that sparkling river of liquid light to flow into the throat chakra, to wash all through the throat, cleansing and clarifying everything that blocks your true expression. And cords here tend to wrap around, so you can unwind them or just cut them, inviting your guides and angels to clear everyone's energy out of your throat. Anything that might block your true expression, any energies of the past saying what you can and can't say, opening your throat completely for yourself. And the color here is sky blue. So allow that liquid light to fill the throat with the bright blue noonday sky. And feel your expression expanding. Let yourself come resident in your throat, taking up your voice. On the next in-breath, allow that sparkling iridescent light to flow all the way through the crown, the third eye, the throat, into the heart chakra. Let it wash through the heart chakra, cleansing and clearing all energies not of now, releasing old wounds and old energies of other lovers or relationships that haven't served, no longer serve. Opening the space for love, for compassion, self-love. Working with your guides and angels to clear any cords, front or back, to others, cords of the past and from the back, cords of people wanting things from you indirectly, cleansing and purifying the heart. Allowing the light to fill the heart with spring green, bright green of fresh growth. And come resident in the heart. Bring yourself all the way into the heart as it's purified and clarified. And if you will, put your hand over your heart and say to the inner beloved, I love you, beloved. I bless you, I honor you, I treasure you. And for a moment, become that inner beloved and receive the blessing. Breathe it in. What is the felt sense of being loved by yourself? What is the felt sense of being honored and treasured? Oh, yes, and cherished. Breathing in and receiving that cherishing. On the next in-breath, allowing this liquid river of light to flow all the way down and into the solar plexus. Let it cleanse and purify the solar plexus right below the breastbone. Inviting your guides and angels to help clear all energies out of this center of power and will. Transmuting them in the light or burning any cords to others, front or back. Giving away your power or people taking your power. Release them completely. And the color is yellow. And the symbol is the sun. So imagine you can call in a radiant sun right into the center, clarifying your will, aligning it with the will of divinity, dissolving all that blocks your true power. And take up residence in your will and your power. Letting that sun shine and clarify. On the next in-breath, allow that river of light to flow all the way down through your core into the second chakra, cleansing and clarifying the second chakra right below the navel, dissolving all that blocks connection and security, any cords to others. These first three are the tribal chakras, releasing any cords to family, culture, religion, past, front and back. And the color is a bright, clear orange. Allow the light to fill the second chakra with a bright, clear orange. And breathe. Now allowing the river of light to flow all the way through this inner flute, this inner Sushumna, and wash into the pelvic bowl and wash it clear. Washing away the past, washing away old lovers, washing away all wounding in your sexuality, all that blocks your safety. Cleansing and clarifying, releasing any cords to others, to the past, even to present lovers, releasing all that wants to release. There'll be more. And the color is a bright, clear red, filling your pelvis with a bright, clear red, adding it to the rainbow. And if you will, put one hand on your heart and one over your lower belly, and bring that love and cherishing from your heart into your sweet sexuality, into your base, into your first chakra. And allow it to dissolve all that's less than love and honoring and cherishing. Allow yourself to reclaim your sexuality, and a lovely way to do that is to imagine you have a pen that writes golden white light, and you write your name all over your pelvis. Or maybe it's a paintbrush and it paints your color. Every cell, every organ, every system in your pelvis, make it yours. And then if you wish, reclaim your entire body by writing your name or painting your color on every cell, every organ, every muscle, every system. And if you've taken in a lot of others' energies, you might paint a little sign, private home of, with your name. And let everyone else leave. Claim your body for you, your spirit. Yeah. Then allowing that iridescent light to become pure light flows in and all around you. It's just the lightest rainbow iridescence filling your arc field, gathering all your subtle bodies to nestle around your physical. And if you wish, write your name or paint your colors all over your subtle bodies. That's yours too, your energetic field. And bless yourself. Thank yourself for being so loving to you. Blessed be. So let's stand up and just shake out and really integrate that. So it looks like our other people are here. If you'll come on screen. Hi, Hannah. Hi, Brianna. Still missing Laura. So let's shake out. And lift your shoulders big, big, high and back. Lifting. Oh. Breathing in. Oh. Breathing in. Oh. Let's stretch out our back. If you put your hands in fists, and small your back and bend over, breathing in, letting go as you go all the way back. Ah. Coming up a little with the in-breath, and letting go on the out-breath. Ah. One more breath here. Coming to center, and then let your head go forward and your body follow all the way over. Flex your legs, just flex your knees, just stretch the back of the legs. Shake out your fanny. And as you come up, bring up earth energy with your hands, stacking one vertebrae on the other, shoulders relaxed. Bring that earth energy all the way up through your core. Fountain around. Let's go into that 8th chakra. Feel the light there. And bring that light all the way around, filling your aura with light. And just smoothing it out front and back. And come to your seat. Laura, good morning. I'm finishing up at a birth, so we'll join today, but might be a bit late. Funny thing, these Tuesday babies. See you soon. Well, I'm glad to hear from her. So, So let's do our check-ins. Sharing what you're passionate about right now, and where you are with your commitments. So would someone like to time? Katrina? Great. So when it's time, just hold your phone up and keep it up. And it's not about reading what's on it. It's when Katrina's phone's up, it's time to complete. So who would like to go first?
I can go first, Evalena.
Great.
What's alive in me now is actually a question. And you mentioned the 8th chakra, and I went through an ayahuasca ceremony about, I think it was 2 years ago now, a year and a half ago, and I felt like my 8th chakra was being opened, like the upper chakras were being opened. And it happened to be in Sedona. And I had, they do aura images in Sedona. And so I had somebody say this, based on your aura picture, you have this thing being opened. And I'm curious about the properties of the 8th chakra and wanting to learn more about it. So that's what's alive for me now. Okay. We don't have to answer it. I know we have only 3 minutes, so maybe perhaps it's something you can discuss in this session. In terms of my commitments, well, I didn't do very well in each of the commitments, but I managed to have actually a really good week anyway. The commitments were throwing myself a tea party. Well, that didn't happen, and kind of grieving my childhood, that did happen. I got more connected with the parts of my childhood that have shame and fears be such a part of my experience. And it felt good to grieve it. It felt sweet. It felt really sweet. Yeah, I think that I'll stop there and just say that I'm feeling grateful to be in this space with you all.
Great.
Thank you.
Yes. You ready for some loving?
Yeah.
Ah.
Mm.
Hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So great to be received. And who's next? And just pay attention if you're the next one so we don't lose time between.
I can go.
Great.
I think well, what I'm most passionate about right now is reconnecting with my wife at a deeper level. So working together, talking, just reconnecting. So it's been really beautiful, even if it's Mercury retrograde. um, as far as my commitments, I'm still working on getting my altar all set up. I'm waiting for some things to come in. And working on receiving is a work in progress, but I feel a little more open than I did. And I did put self-care on my calendar this week first, which was really fun. And the thing that was most amazing, I wanted to thank you all again for last week, because there was my confidence came forward. It was really very interesting. I was interviewed Friday and I wasn't nervous at all. I like owned it. So I was like, yes, thank you. That was huge. I didn't watch the replay, but that's my update.
Wonderful. Ready for some loving?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Practice receiving?
Yes.
Yeah. I think you may be getting better at this than you think. Beautiful. Next.
I'll go next.
Lou?
I am also passionate about my wife, especially her emerging Aphrodite, emerging from somewhere deep inside. And yeah, it's been a good week. Some work, spent some time recovering from our second dose of the vaccine, which was took about a day's worth of energy out of us. But now that was one of my commitments was to look into travel possibilities now. So I wasn't even aware of my commitments until I just looked at them. But then a lot of them have been happening. So that's one of them, and we may be going on a spiritual journey to Egypt in April. And let's see, some of the other things were to do more to enhance play and sensuality in my life, and a lot of that has been happening, and to initiate more channeling practices, which I've done, although they're still in process. It hasn't come to fruition yet, but it's imminent. Yeah, I'd say I'd say what's alive, part of what's alive is dealing with things being as good as they could be, or too good,
Oh,
which is a nice problem to have.
yeah, really.
That's where I am.
Great. You ready for 11? Beautiful.
I can go.
Yeah.
What's arising as a passion is what's arising as my current state of affairs, which is my deep desire. I missed 1 week, and I have a little bit of butterflies talking, and what it brought to me is the ability or the presence to remain in my heart and speak my voice and be in connection. And that's a challenge. It feels a little bit like juggling for me sometimes. And so that's, I think, probably will be my commitment on, and that's enough for for this coming week. And then I didn't make commitments specific for this group, but kind of carry over from the weeks previous. I've just been playing with colors, the whisper of life's lover, who is myself. You know, when thoughts come to my mind, I've just been I did another one that was sort of a pondering on Shiva, and I had sort of a little crack opening of light when I had the words, when the destroyer is an invitation, all is welcome. And my passion is just to like, what layers more can I let go? What, in any micro moment, what can I release to have more contact with the divine? So that's where I'm at.
Beautiful.
Thank
Ready
you.
for 11?
Yes, please. Nice to be here. Thank you.
I would love for you to post that on the Facebook page.
Sure.
Yeah.
I will. I can do both.
That'd be great. And any of you, inspirational things are very, very welcome. That's lovely. And who's next? Tanya?
Hello, everyone. Ever since last week, I have been really passionate about this idea of the tea party, and at a shop that's a European place, I purchased this silicone tea holder because I want to have a tea party now too. I think, Hannah, it's no surprise that you didn't do yours. Maybe we need to do it together and have a group tea party. And it really got me to thinking about in Umbanda, which is a Brazilian religion that's a melange of lots of different sources. They acknowledge the child spirits. And I think that sometimes maybe they're not given enough attention. And maybe there's childlike qualities that we need to reconnect with and just celebrate the lightness of tapping into our childlike parts. So that's alive for me. And I have energy has been kind of up and down. I feel like the pull of winter. I really just want to stay in bed, but then my mind is like, you gotta get stuff done. um, so I did start my 2019 taxes. I haven't finished, but a start is better than not starting. And I have been staying open to miracles and just speaking to the universe and just tapping into that, like, yeah, I don't know how or when, but if that happened in a miraculous way, I welcome that in my life. And then lastly, I just wanted to share that it was chakra dance this week towards the very end of class was just a super rich conversation, and it was wonderful to actually look at anatomy and have Lou, a medical doctor, there, and Evalena posing questions too, and just that the sort of inquiry, somatic inquiry, is very much aligned with how I was taught. And it's nice to have a space to geek out on anatomy and somatics.
Ready for loving?
Yes.
Hmm. Hmm. Beautiful. Katrina?
Yes. Um, I had a lovely week. Um, what's alive really today is like is my connection with my teenage daughter. We did a beautiful ceremony last night. She really wanted to do a fire for Imbolc, and she's 15, and so we made a fire while it was snowing with the wind and 22 degrees, and it was so amazing. And we did some releasing and calling in together, and she was open to doing it out loud. So it was just an amazingly bonding, um, just deeply moving experience. And she just said, Mama, I don't think any of my friends do this with their mom. And I was like so touched. And I shared with her some of my intentions were about wanting to open my guidance to the divine and deepen my connection to God. And she's like, Mommy, I want that. So she put that in the fire. And then she said, Can you show me how to do healing? And I want to learn some of those things. And so it was just really, it just affirmed what I'm doing and that she's seeing it and it's inspiring her. And so it's just deeply, deeply special to have this and to share it. Um, and I had some beautiful experiences. I did about 5 distance healings this week, and I got some great feedback. And so I feel like I'm practicing, and I've got some more encouragement to reach out to more people and to also reach out to some of my clients, and and also maybe even be paid for some of it. And so I feel like it's I'm building confidence, and it's happening. And this is a lifelong dream of mine for about 30 years to able to do this and share it as part of my work. So I just feel very, very, very blessed. And I did some movement. My back is a lot better. Um I didn't yeah, I feel like I got to really um focus on that to was part of my movement practice this week. And I tried to join on Danya's dance, but it didn't. I hope to do it this weekend. Sounds really inspiring. Um, and yeah, that's it for today.
Ready for loving? Hmm. Hmm. It's beautiful about your daughter. Yeah. So I'm imagining Brianna got called away relating to her father. She's managing his case and helping the whole family work with it. So we'll welcome her back when she returns. So I've embarked on something kind of exciting. I'm joined a friend on her workshop on end of life paperwork, tending to the end of life decisions. And some of my friends were also in the online class, and we're forming a death council for each other. So I've always felt, how could one person handle your living will and all of the things? And what she's saying is you gather a group of people. So I have a conversation tonight with my evolving death council. And I so love the other side of the veil that I'm actually getting a little excited about. I'll get to cross over one of these days. And to have all my loved ones around me, where I've always felt, ooh, who will be there and how can I do it? Now it's like, oh, I can build my world now for that process. And it just settled something in me really deep. It's been really good. So she'll offer this again. I'll let you know when she does. She's really, really good at it. It's all the paperwork, but mostly she supports all the decisions and choices relating to the paperwork, because anybody can put names on a sheet, which I have before, and then those people have no idea what I want. But this is really getting a lot of clarity and an addendum with all the details. Don't do this, do that. And you have one or more people on your team who watches out for your soul. So I really like that. And I would love all of us, if you'll add your prayers, for me having a staff person or people who stay with me. I've gone through 10 this year. And, one left because of COVID, and one left because her mother was sick, and one left because she had to go take care of family, and there were all kinds of, and one fell and hurt herself, and the latest probably has COVID again. So I just, if you will, just add your prayers that Evalena now gets stable office support, admin support, personal assistant support. And I'm shown if it's supposed to be a virtual assistant, whatever, but I'm shown the path. And the right people come, they get trained, and they stay with me for years. Would you add your prayers to that, please? And I'll take a lot of loving around that. Thank you. Beautiful. So let's send our love into Brianna and her family, whatever's happening, and whatever's needed, right outcome for all concerned. We love you, Brianna. And we love you, Lara. May everything complete beautifully with this birth, and may you join us. We love you. Blessed be. So, I want to just spend a few moments about what I call care and keeping of the chakras. I feel that this is one of the best things we can do for our self-health, to keep the body really functioning beautifully, to be available to really run spiritual energy and channeling energy through us, and also to really be in your body, to be grounded. So this meditation we did, there's a longer version on the homepage of my website, and to just periodically go through and clear your chakras. There's another one, it usually starts with the first chakra, and you imagine it's like a room in a house that all the furniture is covered with sheets. And you go in and you pull off the sheets and you throw open the windows and open the curtains and let a lot of fresh air in, have the angels clear it, and you clear each chakra that way. Especially the first three, they're the tribal chakras. And if we're stuck, that's probably where we're stuck. Very often, I'm the weirdest therapist in the world because people will come for therapy and it's like, well, we got to get you in there first. And very often, if they seem open to it, we'll start clearing other people out of their chakras. They've got their dad, and they've got their mom, and they've got their old lover, and everyone else, telling them what to do. And I just clear those off. Often, if it's like a narcissistic parent, the cords are in the back and they're very metallic and they grip like this. And so we have to bring in Kali and melt them and clear them. And I have this wonderful, I'll bring it at the break, this wonderful, I think it's called a rathamy. It's like a knife, and I'll just use it to clear out a chakra. So I'll show it to you at the break. Someone who spent 2 weeks on an intensive with me, we just worked together for 2 solid weeks, gave it to me, and it's been an amazing spiritual tool. So the other piece, pardon?
Second meditation that you mentioned, is that also on your website?
Yeah, it's on the one we did today is on the website.
Right.
The other one I could do it. I don't have it made up yet. So that'd be a fun thing. I'll do that.
I've been using the one on your website whenever I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. It's just the right thing.
Great. Good. The other thing about chakras is they have a spin, and the spin can get reversed, and then people are really out of sorts. So someone just is like, I'm all over the place. I can't find myself. One of the things to do is go get all their chakras spinning correctly. So if you think of it as a clock when you're looking at yourself, so 12 o'clock at the top, and then it goes toward the left shoulder and down and toward the right shoulder and around. So that's the spin, and the design, the homuncular system of the body is designed for the body to heal itself. So there's a chakra in your hand, and if you put it over a chakra, it will balance it. Any chakra. So if you've ever noticed somebody saying something and you're like, oh, and you put your hand there, just kind of instinctual to protect. Or over right below the navel. That's a good place if you're taking on energy. Put your hand there. I had a friend who would stuff some Kleenexes in her pants over her second chakra because she kept absorbing people's energy there. So you can go through and work with the spinning of the chakras. And this is a lovely thing to do if you're distant healing, is to just go through each one. When I do energetic healing on the table, I'll often at some point work with spinning each chakra in the clockwise direction, and then maybe putting my hand over the first. If I touch, I ask first, or I just put it near, and balancing it with the crown. And then so it's like a menorah. The heart's the center. So the first and the crown balance. I can't get far enough back. First in the crown, the second and the third eye, they balance. The third and the fifth, and then the heart is the fulcrum. So you could also work with bringing those sets into balance. And then I'll just bring energy up through the core. But very often the scatteredness or the I can't get in my body is because the chakras are spinning in the wrong direction. If there's a lot of energy in a chakra, you use that other direction to release. So you spin it backwards, counterclockwise, to clear energy out, but remember to go back and spin it clockwise to get it balanced again. Rhea.
When you say spin it, are you just energetically moving in that direction?
Yes.
Okay.
The chakras are wheels. So you just invite that wheel to turn in that direction. And it can be just a thought, it can be using your hand, it can be covering. A really good protection for the chakras is using that sense of wheel. So you can draw a medicine wheel over any chakra. So you imagine your hand is painting this golden white light, and you do 3 times in a circle. And then you do the goddess cross, the 4 directions, 3 times. And that's a really good energetic filter that only allows light and positive energy in. And you can do that on the front and the back. I'll usually ask Christ to do the back. So I do the front and he does the back. We get all of them balanced and not taking on energy. I think these things are really important because there's just so much anxiety and fear afoot that we really stay sovereign in our chakras. Also, you can, that Taurus wheel we spoke of, where the energy comes up and around. We are a Taurus. I think I have an image of that on the Facebook page. So you can also just outline that, bring it up the body and around. And just get all the polarities balanced by doing that.
You bring it up inside or in front?
In the front.
Okay.
But you're actually bringing it up. You can bring it up through the core and around, but you can also bring it up the back, up the front. I think it goes up the back and down the front. Up the back and down the front. I need to refresh. I know that's how the microcosmic orbit goes, is it goes up the back and down the front.
I just got a text from Brianna and her power went out. They had like over a foot of snow. And she's wondering if you have a caller number so she can join by phone.
Yes. Oops. Didn't do it right. So, would you text her and tell her I'm sending it by email?
Okay, I think her server is down, but I guess she can still get it from the email, right?
Or if I put it here, can you text it to her?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm just...
I think her spectrum is down to not back until 3. So she would call it from the phone.
They're having quite a storm.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a New York number. There you go.
Okay, great.
And I am going to share that in bulk
Thank you.
image with you. So, when we open this core, when we come into it, we also are helping to, we can help to activate the vagus nerve, which is very central to the parasympathetic nervous system. And I think it's worth doing some research about those two. I'm learning more all the time. The parasympathetic nervous system governs a whole lot of processes, including controlling mood. So as we learn to activate it, it helps with mood, immune response, helps with digestion, and heart rate. And when the vagal nerve is well toned, we recover from stress more quickly. So the vagal nerve runs all the way down the body, and all the organs are connected to it except the adrenals. I hope I'm saying things correctly medically, but that's my understanding. And the some of the ways to tone it are humming, chanting, singing, orgasming, my favorite. Whatever creates a toning inside. So if you'd like, I thought I might teach you my favorite toning that I use a lot in healing. It's Tibetan overtone chanting. Would you like? It's pretty simple, I think. So you form your mouth in the formation of doing R. So you keep your mouth in the R, and you make sounds, and your tongue goes back and forth in your mouth. So it's fairly closed, but open enough to make the sound, of course. And your tongue goes back and forth. So it sounds like this. Welcome, Brianna.
Oh, good. Yay.
Glad you're here.
Hi, Brianna.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Absolutely. Do you have FaceTime? You could come on.
Oh, let's see if that'll work. You don't need internet for that, right? Let's see.
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. I just hit FaceTime. I hit it, but it's not connecting. It shows me my face and then it goes away.
Okay. You may need internet.
Yeah.
Well, we know your face and we know you're here.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually can at least show your little box so we know you're here. So I was just teaching the Tibetan overtone chanting. The more you do it, the more you'll start getting these overtones. And it's very balancing to the body. And I think tones the vagal nerve. I use it a lot when I'm doing healing work with people, especially distance work. I feel like it keeps them engaged, and if they're breathing with it, it will help balance their chakras. So let's do it a little more. So your mouth is forming into an R, and you keep it an R, and your tongue goes back and forth in your mouth. See if you can watch your own mirror here and And your lips are still. There's a tendency to want to go with it, but your lips are still. And different times I'll use different ones of the sounds. It can almost sound like a didgeridoo, which really tones chakras if you've ever had one played over your chakras. Yeah.
I want to share that when my kids were little, we would put our mouths close to each other, and you can do it with somebody else too. And your tones reverberate back and forth. It's
Ooh,
yeah.
I want to do that. That sounds great. So how'd that feel? What'd you notice? Anybody notice anything?
It felt ticklish inside my mouth with the tongue going back and forth.
It's hard to think about much.
Yeah, I did feel like a lot of energy, kind of vibrations, I guess, here.
Good. So I've done this for many years, and I get more overtones all the time. It's just worth practicing.
Yeah, I feel a lot of activity in my third eye with it.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Too bad you hadn't taught this to me while I was still teaching kindergarten. They would have gotten such a kick out of this.
They would have. Yep. And kids can do it pretty easily. Yeah. Beautiful. So, I also wanted to show you, I have an essential oil. Have I shared this? I don't think so. It's for the parasympathetic nervous system. It's by Vibrant Blue Oils. Oh, I wish I could send it to you. It's so good. I immediately feel more centered, and it helps me sleep. So I encourage you to think about getting that Vibrant Blue Oils.
What was the oil itself called?
Parasympathetic.
Oh, okay.
So I want to show you something else. This is a Facebook page for Meg Benedict, and I'll put it in chat, but I can't while I'm showing you my screen apparently. I love this because it's that, first of all, it's the Merkaba, which is this amazing symbol that will balance almost anything. But it's also showing how when we're opening our chakras, it doesn't stop with the crown. It keeps going. And we can continue to ascend. And I think I had mentioned in this group at one point that I see the heart chakra is expanded. It's kind of, for me, a little like a flower. So the first chakras are like the stem going down, and then the solar plexus is the base of the flower, and then the heart expands, and then it just keeps expanding. So I think it's beautiful to play with this spiral. The farther up you go, the wider it can be. And Meg Benedict, this is her Facebook group. She does a lot of activations, like 11/11 and 12/12 and solstice. And I will put her website, her Facebook group in the chat as soon as I find my little thing to stop sharing. And that's where that Imbolc poem was that I read early on, and the image. So you might also just look her up. And I also wanted to share with you Jean Houston. How many know who Jean Houston is? Yeah. I studied with Jean Houston since 1978, off and on. She used to be in New York, and she had her work was called The Theater of the Possible. And she has activated so many people. She's in Ashland now. She's 86. She says she stopped aging at 59, which is probably true. And doing an apprenticeship program there, only she charges $3,500. But she has a free class coming up on on quantum healing. And I will share the email with you after today. And then that leads into a 6-week class that I took that's phenomenal. You're benefiting from it. And I would highly recommend it. It's fairly inexpensive. It's online. And she teaches how to go into quantum time and how to bring healing in from the future, healing in from the past, just all those ways of working with your quantum nature. So, a couple resources for you. So, any questions or thoughts before we take our break? Oh, 8th chakra. 8th chakra is about 8 inches above the crown. So the crown connects with source, and the 8th chakra connects with the cosmos. And it's when you open into that, you're more able to open into higher wisdom, higher knowledge. It connects you to your soul wisdom. And I tend to think of it as you get the heart blossoming and you expand the 1,000-petal lotus, and that takes you into the 8th chakra. So the crown is violet light, and the 8th chakra is pure white light. And so oftentimes when I do a meditation, or like when I do a Tantra breath practice where you connect all the chakras, we also connect the 8th chakra, pure white light. So when we're inviting pure white light to wash through it, that's where we're bringing it in from.
Yeah, that was the aura image had that white that I saw in Sedona.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in your Facebook group, there are units and a lot of resources from all 4 of our groups, including one that shows all the chakras and all 12, the 12 layers of our auric field. We've gone over it before in this group. If you want to another day, we can, but it's worth going in there and looking. There's a lot in there. Yeah, and let's keep adding. Okay.
Does Brianna want to do her check-in?
Brianna, would you like to do your check-in?
Sure. I'll just be quick about it. I am getting very advanced training in living in the mystery and learning to stretch into being okay with not knowing,
Mm-hmm.
and sudden reversals, and thinking you know and then realizing you don't know, and letting go of agendas, and all those things are happening around this drama unfolding with my dad and the family.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel very grateful that I have this group, and I have Katrina in my life, and I have certain other friends that anchor me into the bigger picture of these other realities and the bigger perspectives, because it's creating, shock absorbers on the roller coaster, you could say, or it's creating like ballast for the boat in the storm.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not capsizing, at least not so far. And it feels like this huge gift. I mean, it's just so, there's so much grace in it. And, that includes periods of sobbing and being helpless, or being angry at what the hospital is doing, or the doctors are doing or not doing. There's all of that. But something really big is happening here, and I get to be involved in it, and I just feel really, really graced by that.
Beautiful. When you mentioned sobbing, several heads were bobbing up and down. We know. Yeah, you ready for some loving? We're going to send it to you.
Okay, I don't know. I can never tell if I'm actually receiving, so you'll have to tell me.
Well, if you're breathing it in, you're probably receiving.
Okay.
Blessed be.
Thank you.
I felt your heart receiving.
Good.
Yeah, beautiful. I love you all so much. It's just precious. Dania's showing the heart she just got for the tea parties. Yay. So let's take a bio break. Come back and welcome in our friends. Okay? About
10 minutes, Evalena. Oh, 5 minutes.
Yeah. About 5 or 6. So, almost all back. All right, welcome back. I just forwarded an email from Jean Houston about the quantum powers workshop I mentioned, and one from Meg Benedict. Although it might be Benedict Day, not sure. She's a little wild, but so am I, so you'll probably like her. So, shall we invite in our beloveds on the other side? Breathing. Pardon?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm wondering if I could mention something in reaction to what Brianna was saying.
Yes.
And that, are you still there, Brianna?
I'm here.
Okay. It brought up in me kind of deeply as one of the things about my role as a doctor, and the whole thing about knowing and not knowing, and and patients that really want me to tell them like you know something, when my truth is really that is not knowing, is standing in not knowing how long somebody's going to live, you know, what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day, basically, and this dance of you know, with people as to how much they're willing to stand in not knowing, or how much to pretend pretend that I know what I don't know, because that's what they want from this authority. It's has many layers.
Beautiful.
I can only imagine how challenging that is for somebody with your level of consciousness. I just like can't even imagine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a journey.
Well, and we're taught to pay professionals to tell us what to do. You know, people think we pay you to know, and it's not it at all. We pay you to ride the waves with us, guide the boat as much as you can. Yeah. My skill set for the realms of not knowing is, I don't know. I don't know when I will know, but God knows. I'll be informed when it's time. And just turn it over. Yeah. Which I think you're doing a good job of, Brianna.
It's the only way.
Well, it's the way out of suffering. So it's the only way, it's the middle path, yeah. Good. So let's drop our grounding deep into the earth, arriving in the core, and opening to the light. Angels and archangels, please create a crystalline temple of radiant energy all around each of us now and anytime these recordings are watched or listened to. Cleansing and clearing all energies not of the light around any of us, and weaving for each of us our own chrysalis of radiant light, filling with the rays and vibrations that furthers our evolutionary path. God, Goddess, source of all that is, encompass us so completely in your love and light that only being serving the heart of truth and universal love may participate in any way. Deepest healing and guidance is received by us and through us. I welcome into this sacred temple the Council of 12, and I welcome those beings who are guides or loved ones for anyone here serving highest truth. Greetings, dear one. We greet you and bless you. A little object lesson right here. If you just think back, just kind of feel back in your body to the tone of Evelena's voice in her first moment, and then the second thing she said. And you might notice it was less full, and then it filled. So when she heard that tone, which is a little more resonant than her normal tone, not much different, but a little more resonant, she went, oh. And that's where you invite your small self to just rest. And it's as if that which is identified as ego or personality comes and rests in your heart so that you can expand to the fullness of allowing the channeling. So we're going to repeat it, just, this is acting, but to show you the difference. So Evelena's talking and preparing, and then she says, greetings, dear one, and then it's welcome. Beautiful to be here with you. You feel that difference? There's a dropping in at the heart. The difference between channeling and psychic work, which is precious in itself, is in channeling, you're allowing the transmission to include your heart. In other words, you're stepping into a heart space, you're resting, and you're opening to something meeting you there that's vast. A fully open heart chakra is said to be about 6 feet wide. Oh, well, just take your heart and fluff it a bit. You talk about, I'm letting go. Rhea, we love that. Letting go of everything in the way. Fluff your heart open. Whew. So some have fears of opening the heart of what if I get hurt? Like you can never close it again? Wouldn't it be more like a door or a gate that you learn to open it? Oh, this is luscious. I think I'm going to really open to this orgasmic play. And bring it a little more private. It's still open inside, but you can close the gates. And you might think of it more like if the heart is the house and the energy around it is the yard, then the gates are the fence. So you still have full access, and anyone you open the gate to. And sometimes you don't need a fence. Sometimes you're on a mountaintop and you've got the expanse of the whole 360-degree view of this glorious earth you chose to live on. So allowing that heart to open, then the channeling involves the crown opening. That's why we mention so often the 1,000-petaled lotus flower. And then you're opening into the wisdom of the 8th chakra and beyond. Now, if you're opening into that wisdom in your own being, you're there. And then you're opening to the wisdom of the guides that you can receive from, feel, sense from, while you're there. You may find that what comes through is from the guides, and it may be we, or you may find that what comes through is such amazing wisdom you have to share it. And maybe you don't need to know, is it them or is it me, because that's separation. Can you think of it as what percent is me and what percent is them? Or what are the shades of this that have my signature and what's beyond me and more universally inspired? And then when you just want to grow that continuum, can I stay in touch with the highest truth and have me? And where do I go so much into just personality or doubt or maybe I'm not good enough and all of that old stuff that used to be in the tribal chakras but is less? And maybe I'm so much in that I don't have much of this access to the universal wisdom, but it doesn't go away. The key is opening, asking, inviting, and then allowing. Have we shared the 5-part, we always use the hand when we share it, the 5-part process to an evolutionary step? Does that feel new? Okay, so we'll share it. So the first is surrender. This is about any evolutionary step. Anything you want to learn, anything you want to do, you get all ready to do it, and then you just got to surrender into the not knowing. It's the thumb because that's the biggest part. And the thumb is also the will. So it's not that you're giving up or giving away, it's that you're giving over your will to a more vast experience of will. You use your will to surrender. And then the next is allow. You just got to allow. It's just what is. And in that allowing, you are fertile ground for whatever you're surrendering to. And that can take a few minutes, a few hours, a few weeks, a few months, a few years, and you go through it again anytime. And the next is accept. Accept. And that can take a while. It's letting be what is. Allowing is, yeah, I'm just going to allow it, but accept is, okay, it's all right. Like Brianna with, I'll just get the lessons and I'm here and I'm learning and okay, not knowing today. Okay, we'll do not knowing. Accept. And then the next is acknowledge, because it brings you more into it. I'm doing this. Hey y'all, I'm more visible this week. Hey y'all, I'm being. Hey, I'm opening more to Tantra. I'm opening more to love. I did it. I did the class. I did it. I'm doing it. I am it. I'm pretty good at distant healing. Who knew? And I'm holding my ground even in these emergency rooms. I'm doing it. When you really acknowledge, it's like you're more in your cells. Can you feel that? And then the last is arrive. If you notice, they're all A's. The last is arrive. So arrive is, it's the end of agenda. It's the not needing to know and the not knowing. It's some Buddhist teachers will just pat the ground in front and says, just this. It's just this. So if everything is just this moment, maybe everything's okay. That's where Spirit has the most opportunity to move in you and support the shifts. that's where you're more able to do that upward spiral. And take your time. You've got all of eternity. Thank you, Danya. They're in the chat. So breathe and just notice how it feels. When insights come, it's lovely to add your breath because it signals to the body this is worth assimilating. 5 rhythms, yeah, kind of like. Yeah. They're the 5 rhythms of silence, of stillness, of being. Yeah. So, how many, or to what degree, see this is getting back to continuums. So to what degree would you like to be practicing channeling with each other today? A little bit? Some? Yeah? A lot. Please show us. Okay. So it seems that we will. Yes, Rhea.
Sorry, I'm hand raising today. I would like to practice channeling, but I'd also appreciate guidance with opening.
Mm-hmm.
So if along with the doing, there's like more tools
Mm-hmm.
to the opening, that would feel really helpful to me.
Good. How many would like that? Great.
Yes.
Yes. So when you when you open, the more you begin in your core, the better. It's always a place of power, and we think of coming in to sit on your seat of power. Seat of power is kind of from the Dantian, which is the body wisdom center, up into the throat. So you come into your seat of power. So you've got your body wisdom. You're going to learn, you'll have a hunch if things are right or not. So you want to access that too. And you're sitting in your power chakra using your will to be still enough to allow something to arrive. And you open your heart, but that's also where we think of it as you're like holding all the parts of you that need to let go because, you know, your younger selves try really, really hard to make things work and to make life work and to do really hard and do really good and they get really busy and thank you very much, but we don't need your help. It's what you do. You go, all you young ones who are trying hard, come into my heart and you bring in some divine babysitters if you need. So Mother Mary loves to do that, and Jesus is willing if people relate to Jesus, Kuan Yin, Divine Mother, any of the Mother Goddesses, angels. Archangel Ariel is lovely. So you bring in some energies if you wish, which helps, it helps all the efforting get quiet so that you're in allow now. And the accept part is that you go into your heart and you accept that if you allow enough, something will happen. From there, it's helpful to internally look up into your third eye. So go sit in your heart, look up into your third eye, and you're not looking for anything in particular, but you're offering your gaze to higher intuitive intelligence in you. It's like you're anchored in the heart and you're handing the reins of control, so to speak, or the source of sovereignty, to the third eye, to all means of knowing. So we noticed, Rhea, that you had asked about something by email, we think, about opening the sixth chakra. We'd like to address that specifically with you because when we tuned in, we feel that you had a lifetime where you carefully closed your third eye. And so it we say carefully because it's kind of like you wrapped it up to open later. And you just want to say to your third eye, it's later. It's time. Yeah. And then ask your angels and guides to carefully unwrap that third eye. Almost like if you had a tropical plant or like a banana tree where there might be a few cold days, you'd wrap it carefully in gardening cloth to protect it. So it's like that. Yeah, that's it. And any of you, any wrapping or any place that your third eye might be tied down or closed down, just let the angels unwrap it. And then give yourself permission, because so far the permission was to not open it. So I give myself permission to really open my third eye, my sixth chakra, and to live in it and to use it, because that's going to be really fun. Really fun. And it's safe now. It's safe now. Yeah. So for many of you, if you've had any lives in the Wiccan times, especially the worst parts of them, there's some version of this, of closing down some of your intuitive capacities, your witchy ways. And it's not limited to those who have one gender or the other. In fact, we think everyone here has had some of that. And so you just want to go, okay, wherever I needed in all my lifetimes to limit my psychic abilities, my intuitive powers, my quantum nature, I now ask that all that be released, that the vows be cleared, that any swearings be dissolved, any spells reversed, because now I desire to be open to my full quantum nature. You may find that you'll want to take a cleansing bath tonight after that one. A lot of things moving out. It's good. It's good. Lou.
Fascinating, because you once mentioned about it, this a guide that came through that was an Egyptian, like an Egyptian priest, healer, intermediary. Someone else has, in a past life thing, has mentioned that too. And I just got this hit that my intuition was wide open from some time in the past in Egypt, and it's opening back up now, and I'm really starting to get excited about going back to Egypt.
Oh, excellent, excellent. You will have some deja vus. Yeah, you may suddenly see a scene as it was more than as it is. And it isn't necessarily even connected to the sacred sites. It's like, oh, I've walked along this river before. Yeah. So when you go somewhere where you feel you've been in other lifetimes, you want to invite the highest and most rarefied of your experiences to be regained. And that you're really not there to work out any challenging ones. So if things come up, then you make a session to clear it, not just to live in it. But mostly you're there to reclaim A lot of wisdom. Yeah, beautiful. Perfect timing.
Can you say a little bit more? I felt a big ping when you said that. Like, um, in this moment, I feel like I'm living in something else. So, can you say more about like just being in the rarefied?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Lily,
as you were speaking, I have knowing of somewhere where that closed, like curses.
mm-hmm.
Oof. Uh, so rather than like being in that,
Yes,
how can I be in the?
yes. Excellent. So happy you asked. You allow yourself to remember that your soul has an incarnation that is not you, that's doing all that with curses.
Mm-hmm.
It's another aspect of your soul, and you get into witness self. Okay, so I'm witnessing this. Something wants to be completed. And it's a good time to invite all your young selves to be held, or ask Divine Mother to hold you. In fact, even Great Mother Goddess, I ask for divine intervention here, so that we can heal and complete what wants to be completed from that lifetime without me taking on the suffering of that lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So you can also call Kuan Yin, please absorb this suffering. This isn't mine. This is another lifetime of my soul.
Yeah.
It's bleeding through. But your job is to just to be you, and then you can bring resources to the
Mm-hmm.
other lifetime, which here we are.
Right.
Yeah.
And that feels a little tentative. Like in this moment, I feel like it's a very fine line. I could kind of tip either direction
Mm-hmm.
into like an identity with
Mm-hmm.
that isn't soul, if that makes sense.
Well, it's part of your soul's experience, but not
Mm-hmm.
your version, not that part of your soul that's you.
Mm-hmm.
It's all simultaneous, so you can't be the same,
Yeah.
but you are at the level of soul.
I can feel that the fear is related to the experience, not um, like my bigger self.
Yes.
Like there's fear of like I have distinct experience of being condemned and harmed for that opening,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and to like be in that sovereignty that you talk about,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like I'm here, but that sting is familiar.
Yes. Good. So then where we would go in any session is to completing the business in the other lifetime.
Mm.
We're happy to do that now, or is there someone who wants to work with that? We think we just want to do it because it's a good modeling. Is that all right? Then we'll give you time. So allowing yourself to feel your center and just be in your witness place. And we feel Kali is in order here. You open to calling Kali?
Yeah.
We always ask the person to call Kali because she's so powerful
Yeah.
that she requires that. So.
Yeah. My kids are home, so I'm not sure how.
So keep it from being too loud. Thank you for that notice. So Kali Ma, I ask that you help to clear whatever is bleeding through from this lifetime of being persecuted for my intuition, my witchy ways, my intuitive self,
My power.
power. And we call upon the realms of light to help that lifetime of Rhea's soul complete its business. We ask that, feels like she, right? Be lifted up, and that there's, part of her is already ascended to the light because she knew so much, but part of her soul is caught in the horror. So we want to ask that to be lifted up. And you're feeling it, so it's going to also be lifted out of your field. Okay? So just for teaching purposes, we're tuning in really high on the councils of light to do this.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't just what wants to be spoken. It's like, whoa, what's there? Yeah. So she's being lifted up, and the perpetrators, whatever energies have held on to her, Kali Ma, clear all of the soul. Quiet lightning bolts. And then the angels clear any cords between you and that lifetime or anyone associated with that lifetime. As we ask Kali Ma to burn any contracts, agreements, spells, incantations from that lifetime. How does that feel?
Well, I got super sweaty and it's not hot in here. Lisa and Danya, I can super feel your grounding. It's really helpful. A lot of release in my throat, in the front of my face, in the back of my head, in the back of my sacrum. Like lower left specifically.
Yeah. Beautiful.
A lot of vibratory sensation.
Good, good. So just let it vibrate because your energies are separating from that old stored energy.
Yeah.
And Kali Ma would like to create, this is one of her favorite things, a whirlwind of fire come up your spine. So she's going to start way below your tailbone and just bring it up through the spine and the chakras, the core. Clear all that out of your core. The other lifetime says, thank you, thank you, thank you.
There's a sense of relief, a little lightheadedness, but I'm just letting it kind of be.
That was fast. We usually take longer.
It's okay. I've been through worse and more.
You're ready for it. Yeah. You got that great attitude of just go already.
Well, I've been kind of bumping up against the thick film for a long time.
Does it feel like any of that's left, or is it no more head bumps?
I feel I'm in a space of acquainting myself with this new texture.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So people relating to that. Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel like I need anything else right now. There's liberation for sure.
Good. Beautiful.
And
Just
There's this feeling.
are you ready, Rhea, to hear from Lou?
yeah, I don't have a need to speak right now. I'm
Good.
ready. Yeah, if I can receive.
Beautiful.
There's this feeling of the bird in the cage with the cage door open and the bird sitting at the door,
Mm-hmm.
and with all that freedom and room to play and dance and be wild and on the threshold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, door is open for sure.
Yeah, and you're on the threshold,
Mm-hmm.
which is the most appropriate place to be right now.
Yeah, and the allowing.
The allowing. You surrendered, now it's allow. Yeah. Beautiful. So part of why we work with Kali in such situations is because when the energy is really toxic, you want to send it out quick, right? You want to give it portals out, funnels out, and she's the fastest. Durga's good too. And sometimes if it's really gnarly, you call all the wrathful dakinis. Those are two of them. In the Hindu tradition and many others, there's an honoring of the righteous indignation of the divine feminine that goes, oh, about 1,000 times louder. And sometimes you need the wrathful dakinis. So,
Yeah. If I can, I had, when you first mentioned your sixth chakra, I had a vision of something that was half charred.
Mm.
And there's a sense that when you have time and space on your own and perhaps out in nature, there is something that needs to be released in terms of a scream, something, a sound that needs to be released.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can feel, and I don't know if I want to dip into it too much, but there was energetic and physical binding. And I'm going to leave it there. Whew.
the power of releasing it will come to you. And an interim step sometimes is to have the angels completely surround you and act it out. They absorb all the energy. But you can act it out inside. You don't have to move a muscle.
Yeah.
So, in right timing. That's probably what you leave behind when you cross the threshold. Good. Good identifying. Had this been a session in an office, we probably would have invited those sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Not with children in the house. Yeah.
They're kind of used to me, but at a certain decibel.
Good. Anything else coming through for Rhea? Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thank you, group, for allowing.
And accepting.
Mm.
So you're about ready to acknowledge what you've just done. Yeah. So does someone else have a question that we can offer to the circle, and then everyone centering ground, look up and see what wants to come through you? Who has a question? Lou? You were unmuted, now you're muted.
This is a dilemma of mine that's sort of related to the parasympathetic, actually, and it's about my bladder, how slow it is to heal, or at least from my impatient time frame, it's slow to heal, and this unpredictable, like leaking at times, and this is after this laser prostate surgery. It's been about 6 months now. And there are at least two possible things going on, which is a weakening of the sphincter and the pelvic floor, which prevents leakage, and it can also be the sensitivity of the traumatized bladder, and being more erratic and spasming. Although I'm not aware of a lot of spasming, that's one of the things that would account for it, or some combination. So I've been doing various kinds of healing, energetic, and now I did some good work with a pelvic floor specialist physical therapist. So I'm doing a lot of pelvic floor exercises to strengthen that. And I have a relative who's a urologist who's what medicine has to offer are either are pills or surgery. There's always another pill or another surgery, and there's no way on the surgery. The pills the thing about the pills is that they're what's called anticholinergic, which means they blunt the parasympathetic nervous system so that there's less activity in the bladder muscles, less spasming, and my what I feel most core is to avoid that as long as possible, because it will probably blunt a lot of other good things in the parasympathetic nervous system as well. So I guess any that's where I am, but and at times I get kind of desperate. So any additional viewpoints are welcome.
Tuning in, letting your consciousness look up into your wisdom centers and your light. Unmute and share what you receive.
Blue. What came to me was inflammation, trauma, and scar tissue from the laser surgery. And one of the things that may be helpful is cranial sacral therapy to calm the central nervous system and to break up that scar tissue without any further pushing and prodding and irritation to that area.
Yeah, that resonates. I've trained and delivered a lot of craniosacral therapy. It never occurred to me that bring it, bring it back around.
That's the accept part.
Thank you.
That's good. Thank you.
Very good. Nice and clear. Rhea?
It wasn't, your question wasn't very clear to me. So one thing would be a question to you to clarify that. But when I just was like taking in my feeling of your whole experience, what came was, is there something that anticholinergic could teach your body? In other words, I felt a lot of tension around the either or. And maybe sorry, the words are hard. I feel like your body's forgotten something. And is there something that that can be learned from this thing that you're sort of pushing away? I don't know if that would come in the form of another form that is more comfortable for you, like an herb or a energetic retraining, or if it's a finite period of time with that, so that you are kind of committing to the part that's worried about interfering with other systems. So I'm not sure that was clear at all. I'm having a little hard time with the words at the moment, but yeah.
I'm receiving that actually loud and clear. Two things in particular is like what has my body forgotten, and also the either or both of those.
Yeah. When you spoke about this medication that you were sort of rejecting, I was like, oh, but wow, that sounds like it could be helpful. So in what way could the helpful part be received in any form? Like, yeah.
That's good.
Okay, thank you.
Sometimes that allowing the words, it does feel a bit like a struggle while the next one's coming. And it's probably better than trying to fill it in with words your minds make up. So, tolerance for spaces. Because that felt right on. Any other guidance here? Katrina?
That vibrational healing would be really powerful, either with someone or working with your own energy to really, daily spending some time to really support your bladder and the connections and the healing, getting that it's still healing from the surgery, and that the PT's helping, but to really support it with kind of energetic vibrational support.
Yeah, that, that resonates, that vibrates with me.
Again?
That resonates, that vibrates with me. I can feel that. So actually, I look forward to the session we have scheduled.
Yes.
And we were thinking there's someone really good right here. Excellent. Tanya?
So just as soon as you posed your question, I found myself doing Kegels when you mentioned of the pelvic floor and the strength of the pelvic floor. So in addition to everything that's already been said, I feel like the guidance is like activate those muscles, and that's going to help aliven the second chakra. But definitely get your Kegels in. How's that land?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm doing huge amounts of that, and it's actually it's actually been quite beneficial on the uh, the tantra, the opening up to the circulation of the opening up to my sensuality and sexuality. So it hasn't quite like targeted that one symptom, but it's doing a lot of good.
Excellent.
The idea was just in getting the energy circulating, that helps to keep that part of the body alive and vibrant. And if energy needs to fall away or to be cleared, it will. But just having the system activated is a good thing.
Energy falling away. My dream last night was this huge hole opened up the right side of my groin, and I spilled my guts.
Oh.
As well as a bunch of other like construction materials and stuff, which I kind of think back that they help construct my life until now, but now it's time to let them go.
Excellent. Excellent. So the Kegels can also get refined to the right side, the left side, the back side, the front side, and then see if you can get it down to just an inch of muscle around. And you'll probably find there's a place that's harder to do, and that's where you want to clear the blocked energy. So get creative with all the little mapping of the pelvic floor, especially around the anus.
That's good. That's good. Actually, I started doing that, getting aware of that with the pelvic floor specialist. You know that how it felt different in different places and how it was tighter or it was very a lot of subtle like spaces and realities that I'm just starting to tune into.
It seems to us in those instruction manuals that were coming out in your dream, there's some from toilet training, that there were decisions made about your body that were unnatural to how a body functions. So you might just go in there, maybe even with Kali or angels, and just, I want to clear every decision that got made about peeing, about pooping, about anything that has to do with my pelvis. Because they're probably all distorted by people who needed to control things that I couldn't control yet. Yeah. Good. So anything else? All right, thank you. Let's clear the space. Ready for a new question.
I have a question.
And
I don't know if Danya, did you have a question? I thought you were saying something. Yeah. So I had a really interesting dream too last night. And it was about being driven and about how so much of me is driven by a feeling of not enoughness. Like I have to keep doing more because there's a hole that I'm trying to fill over there that's really in here. And I would, I really would love help from the group or healing from the group around, or support from the group around this hole so I can feel more whole.
tuning in, feeling your core, deepening in your breath, surrender, and allow what wants to come through to come through. Lou?
So the words that come are right from the words that you were just saying is feeling the whole in order to feel whole. And you also said something in the beginning about grief and grieving, and that feels like another. To get to know that whole would be the suggestion is to go fully into the whole, around the whole, just with curiosity, explore and experience what the whole is about, the depths of the whole, and the suspicion is that it will be part of the grieving process. How does that land?
It lands in the hole.
I guess the question would be is how much have you explored or approached the whole, and what is that experience like, and what's more helpful or less helpful in going deeper?
Yeah, I think it's I think it is helpful to sit in the whole and see what's present there, because it's not empty. The sense I'm getting right now is that it's not empty. There's stuff there that needs to be excavated. So, thank you.
And we felt kind of reaching for that and then really letting it come in. That's good. Beautiful. So, Brianna, were you speaking?
No.
Oh, someone was. So, tuning in. What else about whole and wholeness? Tanya?
And now there, this idea of not enoughness is a creation of society. It's a trap. To keep us on a gerbil wheel. And what I've heard is that there was a time, one of your lifetimes, in which you were very complete, where the simple things in life sufficed. And so part of the invitation is to reach back, to tap into cellular memory of enoughness. And this period of plenty, I see you in like a circle of women. Like there was so much support from the women. And when you find yourself in that place of running after the something more, stop yourself and ask yourself, is that truly your desire, or is it this social pressure that makes you feel like being present is not enough? How does that land?
Yeah, the thing that really landed, Danya, is that is so beautiful is being present is enough. Like being here, being now, breathing, fully in the experience of here and now is actually what's enough. The not enough is like mental concepts. Yeah. And being here now is actually enough. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Your Aphrodite persona seems to embody that.
And it's obviously well appreciated. I feel I've gotten to watch that emerge over this time. Beautiful.
Well, it's interesting that you should say that, Lou, because it did feel like a masculine energy kind of over Henna, and it's just her underlying feminine energy that wants to be expressed in this situation.
Yeah, I really got that too, Danya, and it was really from your workshop on the second tantra, the second chakra workshop, and the Kegel, the pulses, 108, right, a day. That 108 creates a feeling of being alive and being in the energy of your body, which feels very abundant and very enough.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful. We are elders of all ages. We all bring our elderness to each other. I love it.
Can I tag a little tiny piece onto that? What came up when the question was asked was I got this image of you laughing, and the next, like laughing at the voice that said, you know, you're not enough, and you were saying, what you were saying was, yeah, ain't it a kick? Like, yeah, I'm not enough. And just like laughing at it, like, because no human is by the standard that says we're not enough, right? So it's like, yep, that's true. I'm not even going to work on that. So I don't know if that lands, but that's what came up for me.
Yeah, that is so. I love that, because where it took me, Brianna, was, of course, we're not enough because we're just a part of the whole.
Exactly.
And what we witnessed, you couldn't see, Brianna, was this widening smile on Henna's face as you spoke.
It's like the part that says we're not enough also wants us to work really hard on that.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that sort of disconnecting those two. Yeah, like you may not be enough, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't have to. You don't have to. Yeah.
And you don't even have to think, you're enough. It's like, that isn't a problem. We don't have to work on the problem of thinking we're not enough. We can just be.
Yeah. I mean, the not enoughness I hear you saying is just like a mental concept. And we can just sort of say, here it is, it's a mental concept. How do you know when you're enough? You know, what is being enough? You know, it's sort of like I can see an old Jewish man saying that. Not Lou, but another old Jewish man.
Maybe Lou could play the part.
It's kind of like saying, not my scale. I'm not going to measure myself on that scale. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Thank you, everybody. I'm complete with that.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Yeah.
Can I share, Hannah? I got Divine Mother in a way that I've never experienced before. And it's the Divine Mother within yourself. And I love what you said, that the whole is not empty. I got this picture, and it wanted this image has a has a practice behind it. Where like you have a daughter, not feeling when you lift your, sorry, I'm
He's so cute.
he's so many things. The euphoria of your baby's soft cheek against your breast, and to hold yourself that way. And I had this desire to give you, like, at first the image was something over a chakra, like Evalena invited, you know, like tending to the chakra. But it's almost like I want this huge stuffed animal and just hold, like just hold. There's like this infinity of giving and receiving that love. It's like this unbroken, reciprocal, like I am that love, I give that love, I receive that love. There is no hole. I loved what you said. So that was like, there was just this really like easeful, euphoric, melting love. That's you. That is you to give to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that. I am that love. I give that love. I receive that love. I think I'm going to make that a mantra.
Beautiful, beautiful. So we'd like to make a meta comment, which, Rhea, that was a beautiful example of what we would call kinesthetic receiving. So it was very embodied, and you speak more slowly when it's kinesthetic. It's like a knowing. We imagine kind of arrived with this image, and your whole body knows, and then you're translating from kinesthetic to words. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's another means of knowing that's quite powerful. The intuition speaks more quickly, and people who are more visual look up and they might speak more quickly, but the kinesthetic says more in fewer words. So in the same amount of time, tremendous truths arrive. Yay. So is this complete for now?
I have one more thing I'd like to share really quickly. Hannah, I was shown you filling the hole, and you started out filling it with gold, and like a child playing, building sand castles at the beach. You filled the hole with just shovels. You would shovel emeralds and put them in the hole, and you were shoveling all kinds of jewels and just stuffing the hole with jewels. My God.
I love that vision, Danya. May it come true. I've got a bit of a jewelry habit.
Marvelous.
Lou is laughing because, you know, he knows about my jewelry habit.
Like right, it was like literally right on.
Excellent. So thank you all. We are witnessing so much evolutionary growth in your work as we keep going. Beautiful to see. Thank you. Let's clear the air. And if you will write your commitments.
So I only wrote down two things. One of them was yes and more, please, regarding the things from last week. So which have to do with play and sensuality and and channeling practice and also and travel, which is kind of like arranging some new traveling and also kind of uh, getting prepared internally to do so and to use that travel for its highest purpose. And then the other thing was asking for help, which is fairly novel for me. Yeah, but regarding just kind of um, both for healing and for flowing with things going especially well.
Great. Ready? Hmm.
That's outstanding. All the subtle flavors of energy and love coming at me.
Beautiful. And Rhea.
I have two kind of concrete and one sort of amorphous. I really want to do your group, Danya, so I'm going to look at the time and I'm crossing my fingers that works. And I want to dive into Emily Conrad, who I mentioned 2 weeks ago, who I just feel this need for more sensorial, deep movement. I want to thank you, Evalena, for the reminder and the invitation to post things on Facebook. I want to do that. I also really want to post an article that moved me about Sangha, because I so cherish this Sangha here. I want to share that. And I am really just feeling this commitment to be in truth, in the sense of not turning away from discomfort, or not turning away from truth because of discomfort. So my commitment is just to be with that pondering of what does it mean to move towards truth and be in clarity. It's a pondering, so it's forming. That's it. Thank you.
Great. Ready for love and affirmation?
Yes, please. It's really tremendous.
And Danya.
Okay, my commitments are to keep the publicity going on Facebook and LinkedIn. And I am going to order my light for social media, which I didn't know was needed, but now I do. And I'm going to continue working on my taxes. Woo-hoo! And practice channeling with anyone who's open to do that this week.
Great. You ready?
Yes. tickles on the back of my neck.
Beautiful. Katrina.
I'm inspired by Danya. I'm gonna get started on my taxes. Yoo-hoo! I want to keep up my daily movement. I'm gonna do at least 3 healing distance sessions, and I wanna rewatch part of today's recording to take some closer notes, and I wanna create a ritual for calling in new clients in alignment with my new work, in the highest alignment with this new work that I'm offering.
Beautiful. You ready? I don't know what's better, receiving or being received. They're both pretty glorious.
Great.
Yeah. And Brianna.
Okay, I need to watch some of the replay because of the gaps from today. I want to see what I heard,
Yeah.
and what I didn't see or hear. I want to practice the 5 steps consciously at least once. I think I do them unconsciously a lot, but I think there might be something good to just really notice even when I am doing that and how I'm doing that. Just pay a little more attention to that. And to sing every day to my dad and tune in with him, and to pray for miracles and pay attention to the process of praying for miracles, the outcome, and also the aftermath, because all 3 of those have good information for me in my learning and my evolution. I'm losing track of time entirely. Did I share with you the miracle that happened when we were all praying for a miracle for my dad? I don't remember if I did in our last, if it was before our last gathering or after, but that happened. That praying for a miracle happened, and there was a miraculous afternoon, and then it confused the heck out of everybody. Because, so there's paying attention to the outcome and also what happens after that. So letting go of what I think it means when the miracle actually happens. Yeah.
Beautiful. So we're all sprinkling you with love. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Just feel it coming in, heart to heart. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. So I would love support in getting staff this week. I just got a text that the woman who was training the new one and was willing to fill in has now figured out that I'm the one that's sick, not the other person, and isn't coming back. So I would love for all of us to hold that I am seeing clearly into the divine plan, and I make contact with the right person or persons who become really steady support for all of this that I'm creating. And I would love you to add your prayers and power to that. And I'm ready.
Evalena, on a practical note, do you have a description of what that person needs to be able to do in case we know someone?
I do. Want me to share it with y'all?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I will. So, this weekend, I am offering two things online. It's the Austin Tantra Festival, and now we're having them frequently. Um, I think it'll be delightful. It's Friday afternoon through Sunday evening. And my first offering is a puja, Radiant Heart Puja. Unfortunately, it's the middle of the night for you, Danya. It's 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And it's 2 hours of connecting with people in these really sweet, heart-centered ways that you'd be surprised how much intimacy needs get met through Zoom rooms by the way that we lead these things. They're pretty delightful. And on Saturday, I'm leading a workshop at 1:30 Eastern, so it must be 10:30 Pacific, and it's on erotic communication and negotiating well. So it's my above the line communication. I think it's a pretty amazing skill set that hardly anyone else teaches. And it's how to speak in the positive, how to say what you want instead of what you don't. And it tends, especially in intimate connections or friendships, it allows needs to get met on both sides. And you learn how to speak in a way that builds self-esteem, yours and the other person's. So I'd love to have you come. I think the fee is still 100 through today for 3 days of workshops. And then my code is Evalena25, and that takes $25 off. So for $75, you get the puja, my workshop, and a bunch of other workshops. I don't know about the quality of all of them. Lori Handler's is one of them, and she's really good, a really good teacher. And then there's some people I don't know very well. So come play with us.
Is that on your website or will you post it?
I think it's on the website, yeah. I have an email about it, but she only sent it to people interested in Tantra. But I can send that. My marketing person doesn't want me to exhaust my list by too many emails, so, but I'll send it to y'all. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's take a moment and just bring our energies back. Thank you, Counselor 12. Thank you, guides and angels. We love you, we bless you, we release you, and continue to guide us to our highest destinies with miracles of grace and ease and elegance. Bless this earth with great healing, consciousness, and peace, that all beings awaken to their authentic nature and arrive in love. Blessed be. And let's take a moment for Om. Okay? You can unmute if you wish. We can all hear each other. So breathe full in. Empty completely. Filling with breath. Twice more, filling. Bring all your energy home with this. Om. Blessings to you. Blessings to Laura, the baby. And let's ask the universe to rearrange all the births around Tuesday. For 2 more weeks at least. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Evalena. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.